I started to get a little worried when you began to excise the distinguished part when you discovered it was going to be me.
You'd be surprised what I can determine from behind.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you both for being here, and I do have a couple questions for each, but I want to start with Mr. Hernandez and ask you a bit more about how your agency works with partners on the ground. I think obviously the importance of the program speaks for itself, and I want to get into some of the detail in terms of some of the analysis that's been done. But I wonder if you could talk to us about how your agency collaborates with other stakeholders and industry partners on the ground to maximize the resources that you have?
Great, thank you very much. It's a great question. In order for us to be successful, we have to have key partners and stakeholders. We work a lot with nonprofits. We require home buyer education as part of it. And that's why we use metrics to measure the success of the program. It's not just making a loan that's effective. It's how do you keep people in the home. And the way we do this, we work with packagers or nonprofits to do home buyer education. That is a growing need. In order to have successful programs, you have to have the right partners. When Congress reduced our budget level, we lost about 20% of our staff, which means the staff we had to go out and find customers were lost. Also the staff that actually do the loans and the direct were lost. So the good apart from that is that we had an opportunity to look at how we do business better. And so that's why we spent so much time doing what we call business process improvement. We do Lean Six Sigma, trying to find better ways to do that. And one of the things that came out with is how we work with partners. And so how do we work with the nonprofits so they can help us find additional customers so we can close loans. So we call those packagers. We have a new rule coming out right now that allow us to actually compensate nonprofits so they help us do the work. So we have a two-pronged strategy, trying to find the customers. We do it, they do it, because we don't have enough staff. So it really requires us to have strategic partnerships. And with that, that's how we get better loan performance. You know, it's kind of nice. Our performance right now with the single-family direct is 2.3%. That is very, very good performance. That's first-year delinquency, sir. That means we're picking the right folks in the first year, and they do not lose their home. 9 out of 10 people. These folks make $29,000. Sometimes a family or 3 or 4. $29,000. And with the partnership that we have, we're actually keeping them in the homes. With the guarantee program, we have the lowest, as of March, we have the lowest delinquency rates, 1.56%. It's the lowest in our history. Very, very good performance, which contributes to the success of our program. Not only are we managing the program well, it's also not costing us. We're very fortunate in the guarantee program with our partners as well, with realtors and lenders and nonprofits. They're helping us find ways to get more home ownership. So we're trying to find strategic partnerships, sir. That's what we do.
Thank you. And I wonder, is it Mr. Skyer? Sheree. Sorry, I wasn't here when you started. I wonder if I could just, thank you again, Mr. Hernandez. I wonder if I could just get you to comment a little bit further on the questions about performance. You indicated that it was unclear to you what the performance was on the direct loan or on the guarantee program. Could you expand on that? Because I'm a little bit confused about what data you might be looking at. And
the question was whether it was good or bad. And so, you know, I would want to compare that with some other cohort to tell you whether or not it's relatively good or bad. So
let's say, how would it compare to if in fact one of the potential recommendations would be to merge this program with other existing programs? Wouldn't it make sense before coming to that conclusion to compare the performance of this program to
Absolutely.
The program that you might merge it with?
Absolutely. I think, when we talk about opportunities for consolidation and coordination, we're not necessarily assuming that the best practices are at FHA. Some of the better practices might be at Rural Housing Service, but then why wouldn't FHA take advantage of those? But to get back to the question about comparative performance, the analysis has not been done yet. That would hold constant some of the factors that could explain the loan performance you're seeing with RHS versus FHA. And that's one of the areas where we think actually some of the benchmarking that RHS does can be improved, because it's important to control, for example, when the loan was made, where it was made, and some other borrower characteristics. That might explain more the differences you're seeing in loan performance than the operation of the RHS program.
Okay. One of the things that, and this relates to not just this program but others, that I would really encourage anyone who's analyzing these programs to look at, and this is very rarely attempted, is to try to measure the positive externalities, even considering the risk and potential default, but to measure the positive externalities of home ownership programs on housing in neighborhoods that have nothing to do with the programs directly, but actually receive pretty significant benefits in terms of equity preservation and stability in those communities. We talk about all sorts of ways of measuring these programs, and especially in the rural environment, supporting home ownership has value that goes well beyond the recipient of the support that got them into a home in the first place in terms of maintaining some degree of stability in the market. And so I know that's difficult to do, but I would certainly encourage you to do that. And I wonder, Mr. Hernandez, if you could comment quickly on the loan origination process and how you think that works and results in positive outcomes for you.
May I answer, sir?
All right, am I done?
Great.
All right.
All
right.
Yes, sir. What's nice about the direct program we have is storefront operations, so folks can either come directly to us in each of our offices in the rural areas. And importantly, right now, we're working with our partners to create what we call electronic file submission by nonprofits, so they can help us submit loan applications. We still underwriting, we still make the decision, but with the delinquency and industry standard, anything up below 5% is very good in performance. We're at 2.3%. We are doing very well. And the guarantee, our lenders do it. We try to monitor our lenders, and we have the lowest first-year delinquency, 1.5%. It's very, very good. And we're
Very
working
good.
more with those lenders.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the additional
Yep,
time.
yep.